Greetings, this is September 3rd at 11 p.m. There appears to be no expansion in the northern flank of the Elephant Hill wildfire. However, the age has changed in the infrared hotspots. Here we're looking at an image from approximately 1:30 in the afternoon, and it's going to roll into an image from 8:45 p.m. And as you can see, there are new infrared, but many of the spots have aged and are now in the 12-hour category. There is still lots of activity in those yellow 24-hour spots. Let's jump over to NASA's World View and take a look at the western provinces and the smoke that's coming out of Washington. Not very apparent from the Caribou because of the cloud cover. Zooming into the Okanagan, we can see what's coming off of the area west of Cathedral Lakes and Peachland, of course. Lots of smoke accumulating in the valleys to the east, around Beaverdale, the Christian Valley. And taking a closer look at Peachland, it almost appears to have expanded westwards, just from the plumes of the smoke. But I'd like to come back and look at this on the infrared. Let's take a look at Cathedral Lakes now, and I'm actually seeing expansion westward, and I don't know if that's related or these are separate fires, but I'm seeing another half dozen lower in the United States, and it looks like probably another half dozen up in Canada, just across the border. And there's a lot of smoke in the area. It looks like the only relief is up towards Princeton. There could be smoke billowing over Osoyoos. I'm not sure if anyone's going to benefit from these breezes because they're going so slow in some areas that some of the valleys may be filled with a fairly dense haze tomorrow morning. Let's take a look at the Elephant Hill wildfire. A lot of the northern flank is obscured by some clouds, some smoke. We can see some infrared being displayed there, and that's towards Sheridan. And I'm looking at the large plume in the center of the screen. That appears to be coming from kind of the top of Mount Jim. I can almost make out the outline, and Green Lake to the north of that. I'm seeing Bonaparte Valley towards the bottom of the screen. Other areas look more like they're smoldering. They don't look like they have a lot of velocity to them. But if we look northwards to the Beto Tree Cam, and the link is below, we can see that fire activity to the southwest, and it's reaching right about the middle of the screen. That's approximately the same position it was last night. So let's look at the southern perimeter again. We can see a lot of haze floating over the Deadman River Valley, and it almost looks like there's plumes coming east of Clinton. It's very difficult to tell. But what we can do is take a look at the infrared being displayed on the VIIRS system from 8:45 p.m. this evening, and we are seeing Green Lake on the left-hand side, Sheridan Lake on the right-hand side. We're kind of looking northwest, and we can see the approach of some 12-hour orange and some 6-hour red, and the older groupings of 24-hour infrared all being displayed. Here we are looking at an overview, and you can see how it's all been kind of pushed to the eastern fringes of this fire flank. Not a lot of new activity on the western side, and I mean, I can see some red interdispersed in there. They may be part of a control strategy. They may be flare-ups. However, most of the activity is a lot more subdued than it was earlier this afternoon. We're just pulling back and looking north for a second. That's Canham Lake, that dot in the center. That fire, as I understand, is fully contained right now. So that has been a concern. It flared up just over the last couple days, and wildfire crews and local fire crews, they have dealt with it. So if we look south now, I'm looking to the east of Pressy Lake, and we can see there's a lot of 6-hour infrared in there over top of orange, 12-hour infrared. It has not approached from the east. It's all continued to move eastwards, and I'm really not seeing any expansion there. It's actually becoming older. And likewise with Young Lake, to the lower right portion of your screen, those infrared have aged. There were some new 6-hour being displayed this afternoon. They've all turned into 12-hour, and there is no apparent growth there either. We're looking at the area now around Loon Lake and north of Highheam. I can still see some of those 6 hours, so there's recent activity that we are still monitoring. A lot of it has turned to orange 12-hour, and around Highheam, most of the stuff on the eastern flank have turned to older without expansion. So it kind of flashed apparently, and it's been dealt with, and it is aging in place. If we jump quickly to the southern area, this is north of the Cache Creek Hills, north of Battle Creek. Again, no expansion, aging 24-hour hot spots. That's long-term smoldering probably going on and maybe contributing to some of the haze eastward. I'd like to take another look at Peachland, this time in the infrared, and we can see the fire in the Philpott Road area. It's all aging older infrared, but in Peachland, near the center of your screen, and this is on the Meadow Valley Road, it is showing a lot of new infrared on the fringes, both to the southeast and to the southwest, and with a concentration of older infrared in the center. So I'm going to speculate that it is growing, and it's looking for new fuel to the south-southwest, and it looks like on the top of the hill to the eastern direction. If we pull back, we get an indication of the terrain, the forestation in the area, and what's to the west of this fire. There's a park in there, Dark Lake, and there's extensive forest. So crews have to be careful. I expect there's a lot of changing wind patterns from the lake, the forest, the heat around the fire. Very dangerous situation there. If we turn to Windy, we're looking at 11 kilometers an hour from the northwest when I took this, and the other computer model is showing it a little bit slower, 8 kilometers an hour, and likewise kind of from the northwest. And if we look at the forecast, it should be down to almost 7 kilometers an hour, and that'll continue slowing. But at 6 o'clock in the morning, we may see a wind shift from the west. And again on Tuesday, it may turn around and come from the south. And then towards Friday, we are seeing clouds on the horizon. So that appears to bring precipitation. I'm not sure if it's going to bring lightning. You want to check the BC wildfire map, because if there is a strike and it turns into a wildfire, they'll identify it there. Looking at Peachland, I'm seeing 3 kilometers an hour coming from virtually the north, and down in Penticton it was 5 kilometers an hour, and it looks like the wind pattern is grouping everything around Penticton, so please find yourself some air filtration in that area. And 3 kilometers an hour on the last time I checked it. So wind is slowing down. It's probably going to fill up the valleys with a lot of haze. Be very careful out there, because smoke, you know, it can do, you know, kind of the unseen damage. I just eat a lot of blueberries and blackberries, so I'm okay. Let's take a look at that Peachland cam. Something's either happened to it. It's got knocked. I was hoping to catch a glimpse off the lake of the fire there, but it's not possible at this time. And sometimes I just go back to the Begbie cam, and Drive BC should really throw a live chat on their specific webcams, because then we can go there and talk about what we're seeing and what the fire situation is. That's my idea for the day. So it looks like our wildfire crews and the local fire departments, the RCMP, and all the resource people that, you know, and those pilots, they're amazing. They are doing a phenomenal job hammering this thing to keep it away from sensitive, critical areas. They're directing the fire to burn itself out. Check the bulletins below, check the alerts, have all your resources prepared ahead of time because it is an active wildfire. Be safe, everyone. Thank you very much.